Donald Trump in Asheville earlier today, touring damage left behind by Helene. Good evening, I'm Kristen Kwan.
And I'm Casey Getz. News 5's Preston Ayers was there today when President Trump landed at Asheville Regional Airport.
Air Force One on the ground here in western North Carolina, a sign of hope for many people here today as the region continues to struggle from the significant damage from Helene. Now, this is his first trip here as president, but not the first trip that President Trump has made to the region. He's been here a couple of times, including once back in October, every time very critical of the federal government's response to the Helene recovery here and throughout the region. For many people in western North Carolina, the sight of Air Force One on the tarmac at the Asheville Regional Airport is a sign the federal government is finally listening. The region has struggled to recover after being devastated by Helene last year. On Friday, President Donald Trump made a trip to this region, his first outing since taking office.
I said to him, Tennessee's just right across the ridge. He understood that comment, and I think he knows that obviously North Carolina had a greater level of damage than Tennessee did, so this was the right place for him to come.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee was invited to join the president and other lawmakers for a roundtable discussion about how the recovery is going. After their meeting, the governor told me he asked the president to make the process faster, sending more money straight to the states.
We do want there to be a greater cost share borne by the federal government, obviously, but we want those decisions to come faster, too, so we can plan them and to give the state longer time to actually get the cleanup done.
The president's trip to the region comes just days ahead of Tennessee lawmakers' special session on Helene recovery.
You know, I think the disaster relief component of that special session is urgent. It's important. The federal government does respond, but there are gaps.
The governor's plan calls for $20 million for a new Hampton high school, but the governor says he's hopeful there will be even more money to fully fund the project.
There are dollars available through multiple streams. I think that our goal is to make sure there's enough money to rebuild that high school, and I think that's where we'll land.
While recovery is moving forward, there is still a long way to go for the entire region, but many see this visit as a step in the right direction. After his visit here in western North Carolina with Helene survivors, the president now on his way to California to look at the federal response to the wildfires there in Asheville. Preston Ayers, News 5, WCYB.
President Trump also getting an up-close, in-person view of the havoc wreaked on North Carolina by Hurricane Helene. He gets a briefing on recovery efforts and then heads to a small town outside of Asheville to meet with impacted residents. Trump says his administration is looking at downsizing the federal government's role in helping states hit by natural disasters. He slams FEMA and the Biden administration's handling of the hurricane response, arguing without evidence that the response was slow because North Carolina is a red state.
We've come to North Carolina with a simple message for all the people of this region who were hit so hard by Hurricane Helene, and that message is very simple. You are not forgotten any longer. You were treated very badly by the previous administration.
Helene, which hit the mid-Atlantic in September last year, resulted in more than 100 deaths in North Carolina, more than $50 billion in damages, and widespread devastation to homes and businesses. Trump said his administration is surging housing solutions and water resources to the region. He's also signing an executive order to cut all red tape in the reconstruction of roads.